Hello, everyone, and welcome back to BoozeBash 5. Week 3, we've got Bilgewater Buccaneers versus Icathia Riftwalkers. I am Dr. Feast, and alongside me, I have Fuel and Kel. Hello, guys.
What's going on?
Hey.
All right. So we've got bans underway already. They both ar'd up. We have an Anivia ban right away from Icathia to take that away from Pingu, who pretty hard carried on Anivia in Game 2 last week. And then some respect shown to Andrew with the Shaco ban.
Wonder if we'll see the ASOL ban come out here for Pingu.
Yeah, potentially.
I'm not super familiar with what these players actually play. I mean, I know a little bit about Pingu and base, but I know Chrysora is a fellow Cho'Gath enjoyer, so we could potentially see that.
Yeah, I think Chrysora has been playing a decent chunk of Ornn as well. He was really good on Ornn in like some practice things. And there's the Vayne, so a little respect towards Veritatis, who I'm not very familiar with. There's a lot of players that, again, I'm not super familiar with, but also knowing. I mean, there's been 2 bans put specifically towards support, which gives Icathia quite a lot to work with, especially for like someone like Tay, who I don't know how big his mid pool is. I know he has a decent chunk of good games on, like he can play like Zed. He pulled out Vigar last week, and that was a menace. Like, I don't know, Kathy has a lot to work with when you only ban one specific role, and hover the Ornn and picks it.
Yeah, Ornn has been kind of like an MVP in BoozeBash, right? Like,
yeah,
we've been seeing a lot of really good Ornn games.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of tankiness and a lot of scaling.
Plus ornaments, yeah.
The BoozeBash games tend to go long, I think, in part, well, at least from lower bracket experience, in part because people don't know how to end, but also because, right, with the coordination, the open comms, it can be really hard to actually, much harder to like get people out, have people throw that way, and get free objectives. So the scaling ends up being really valuable in the coordinated environments.
Yep, I really like the Vayne ban for that reason, because endgame she is just a monster.
Definitely. And that's a locked Varus. It's a very interesting pickup. There's a chance that Tay just takes that. No, Tay might not take that mid. That's just going to be a bot Varus. If this Ahri gets locked, we see Aphelios Jarvan coming out from Bilgewater. Aphelios a very strong late game pick. Hovered the Ahri and picks the Veigar. These teams are looking scaling. The Jarvan not so big on scaling, but that's probably going to Sirach in the jungle. And sometimes you don't need a super scaling jungler if the rest of your team can kind of pick you up when all you're doing is just being an engage bot, essentially.
I mean, I don't know if we'll see it here, but I have unironically seen Jarvan support previously as well.
Yes, and Lemur is a proponent of it.
And Lemur is in the game.
Lemur is a proponent of it, but I don't think that they're going to do that. The Blitz ban 4 support bans.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Tom Kench is going to Lemur.
I think so as well. Aphelios TK is pretty solid. There's a chance it goes top, and maybe we see something like Alistar.
Do we have this backwards? Because why would Lemur's team ban Zilean?
Because Andrew's Zilean is godlike.
And we do see the ASOL ban.
Yeah, Aurelion Sol being banned off of Pingu. So I feel like if they really wanted it, they would have picked it like pretty early. If they wanted to get Pingu pick. But I think they're gonna save counter for him.
I'm not really sure how the ASOL's matchups work and if he really needs counter pick or not, but I have to imagine that he has some pretty abysmal matchups.
He does, yeah. So they're banning the Aurelion Sol and the Yasuo. Meanwhile, the final ban is a Hecarim ban, very solid. Get put base off of a champion like Hecarim that can potentially just be a menace, a carry, essentially.
I mean, in the same wheelhouse, base could pick up the Nocturne though, which has the global agency and kind of the same idea, right?
Yeah, Nocturne. I'm not sure how good Nocturne is with this specific comp for jungler. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of follow up right now, but if you give maybe Pingu takes something that can follow up, I more prefer something like this Wukong Hover, or
I like
Viego as well.
yeah.
Viego is a base special. He's very good on this champion. So might see it picked here.
Yeah, Viego, you just start getting those resets and it's rough. You just can't kill him during the team fights.
Yeah, this Mordekaiser picked up as well. Likely to go top lane against the Ornn. I imagine that is the lane where Mordekaiser will be able to bully early.
Yeah. Mordekaiser's a known counter pick to Ornn. You can ult him when he ults, and then his the ram disappears because the ram stays in the regular world, so you can't hit it back through your team.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually huge.
All right, so
final, and it's a counter in lane as well.
Okay, so final pick is Ashe. So that's a Veigar support.
That's
or an Ashe. No. It's an Ashe. It's probably an Ashe support. It's probably an Ashe support for Andrew. He is a big enjoyer of Ashe support as well.
I have seen Ashe mid a few times as well. I mean, I don't know if their mid laner actually plays Ashe, but
no, Tate plays Apogtheosis plays Veigar. So it's a Varus Ashe bot lane, very poke heavy, and then Pingu just takes the team pick, takes the Orianna with the Jarvan. This could potentially be a support Jarvan, but I think there's no other junglers on the team, so it's got to go to the jungle here.
It's more top Jarvan's mid or Jarvan jungle.
Yeah, so it's more top TK, Aphelios TK, Jarvan jungle, and Orianna mid is what we would suspect. And I don't have access to the in-client spec, so you all can take it through if there's any funky funky things going on.
I would imagine that TK probably does decent into Ornn as well if they wanted to flex that top, but
the lane is favored, but then you get outscaled super hard, and you don't have a lot of kill threat on him. It's definitely in a competition like this, the early advantage you get from the lane pressure is not going to be enough to justify the pick.
We are into pick ban phase here. What's the over/under on somebody screwing this up? Seems to happen quite often.
I'd say pretty low. I'd say I'll give you like 5-10% only.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tori's mentioning in chat that feels like Ori helps shore up some of the weaknesses that Jarvan has later in the game.
Yes.
Which I would agree with that. That is a really good compliment to their comp.
Yeah, just a nice little wombo. Jarvan locks people in with him, and then Ori keeps them from getting away.
Yep, the Jarvan Ori ball. Yep.
And he's very good at eating himself in and just delivering the ball in general.
Mm-hmm.
I see Bananas hovering the Ahri here.
Yeah, the Orianna's so good late game as well. It's like Orianna only gets better as Orianna just gets better as the game goes on and she gets more items. Like it's definitely a solid pickup for Pingu.
It does look like red team is in order and blue team is not.
Yeah, they're not, but it's fine. It doesn't.
Well, just as far as knowing what pick is going where. So it does appear to be Jarvan jungle and Mordekaiser top.
Yeah. Yep. And then Ashe support, Varus bot, Ornn going to the top lane.
It also, I mean, it could be Varus mid too, right? Like we've seen Varus and Ashe mid previously, so.
Yeah, but the Veigar is something that we've also seen Apogtheosis play last week, and he was very good and he did really well on it. So I would guess that he's not gonna be playing. That it wouldn't be going to the bot lane, especially because we've already seen the ADC and the support pick for Icathia. Like permanently call him being the ADC and Andrew being the Ashe player in bot. So yeah, we got our comps all set up. Got a few minutes until the game starts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really interesting the two types of team comps that we've got here. because we got poke heavy bot lane. Like they Icathia has a lot of re-engage, while I don't know, Bilgewater has an interesting team comp. They have decent dive, but it's also like this Aphelios almost feels a little out of place because there's no one that really is gonna be standing. I mean, I guess the Tom Kench can stand back, but TK also kind of wants to go in at the same time. So you got like Aphelios Oriana standing in the back.
Yeah, I mean, late game, the TK is more about killing for the Aphelios. So I kind of agree. The Jarvan feels a little out of place.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, the early game power is really nice, but then, yeah, the Jarvan Ori combo, you do want to be going in. And then Icathia's got some nice counter engage or, just the kite backwards with the Veigar cage. Viego stunning, picking one person who's come in too far and getting resets from there. Ornn can do either, of course. Ornn just, wherever your team is, he can ult you.
I mean, given the comps, I think that red team wants to be playing towards topside to get this Mord ahead.
Yeah, which is a little bit awkward because Mord actually really likes being left alone and then just bullying his lane. Like, he would love it if nobody ever shows up, and then if the jungler does show up, he often ults them and fights them in the Death Realm. Or picks one or the other, whoever's lower, weaker. So it can be a little bit weird trying to play towards a Mord lane, but not impossible. He can also just ult someone, hold them in place, and then the jungler can walk behind the edge of the Death Realm and wait for them to come out. So it's not impossible to play towards a Mord lane, but it's a little bit weird.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I agree. There's a little bit of a disconnect with the Jarvan and Oriana wanting to make offensive combos in the Aphelios TK, and to some extent Mord wanting to play more front to back, take them as they come towards us. So
yeah, I mean, well, so you've also got, I mean, assuming you do get the Mord ahead as well. I mean, you just that much longer for Ornn to scale, get the ornaments going and stuff, especially if they can keep him off XP a little bit. But
yeah.
actually not. I'm actually not. Well, I mean, I guess blue team definitely has better scaling between Ornn, Veigar.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ori
even
scales
Viego.
plenty well. Aphelios scales better than Varus, I'm almost positive. But no, I think you're right. Icathia does outscale somewhat. Icathia, I think, is going to have a somewhat difficult time actually bullying their way into objectives.
Yes.
They've got a pretty pokey comp, and they want Bilgewater to be coming into them. So it's going to be definitely on them to get to objectives first.
Yeah, well, so the other thing with Icathia is I feel like they have a lot less engage. I mean, they have Ashe ult, they have Ornn ult, and Veigar baby cage, really.
Varus ult as well. It's kind of shorter range, but it's solid CC.
True. I'd forgotten about Varus ult.
So I think I agree with the fact that Icathia doesn't have a lot of obviously upfront engage. They have a lot of reactive engage though. They have a lot of a way to turn fights around. I don't know, like obviously the Jarvan's gonna be the engager. I don't like otherwise. I'm gonna be interested how they decide to play the engage, how Bilgewater plays trying to engage in this game. But I feel like this could be a game where we end up like just kind of staring at each other, waiting for something, waiting for like one little tiny mistake versus because obviously none of these teams have super solid, like guaranteed engage besides a Jarvan, and you can kind of play around the Jarvan.
Yeah, if that happens, that dramatically favors the Varus Ashe team with their poke.
This is weird. Yep. What is happening?
Oh, we're just waiting for did our games all bug?
I just see a black screen, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
Very dark anyway.
Zach, are you seeing the same thing on your end?
Yeah, I'm fiddling with it, trying to fix it right now.
Okay. I'm gonna leave and rejoin.
Oh, I got it. You just got to speed up the time controls.
Okay.
I'm good now.
Cool.
That
Well,
was very funky. So I'm currently at 25 seconds, 26, 27.
Yep.
Looks like we might have an invade coming in here from Icathia. And we have Bilgewater doing a classic 5-point.
Oriana, no items.
Oh,
Oh
poor
no.
Pingu. Oh, Pingu.
Pingu.
Unless it's maybe it's a bug.
Could be.
Nope, he's backing now.
Ah, okay, so it wasn't a bug.
He's caught it in time. All they lost was a little bit of health on TK, and that's nothing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Never punished.
Okay.
Okay.
What time?
Red team's off to an early lead though because they all put their people in the right order. Didn't make me fiddle with the controls at all.
Mm-hmm.
Rube.
Veigar took cage level 1, something to know he's not going to be stacking until level 2.
How do you zoom out?
Control Shift Z.
See, thank you.
Alright, so we've got bot side starts for both junglers. Let's see if anything explosive happens here, event. As we get along. Go along
Base
here.
just got the fattest leash.
Yep.
Yeah, double ADC.
Well, I mean,
attack power.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, his buff was at like 340 by the time they left, so.
Yep.
But. So.
I'm having some issues with lag.
So we think. Bilgewater definitely has the advantage in the top lane. So. I don't know a whole lot about the matchup between Veigar and.
Farm lane.
Veigar and Oriana.
Yeah, Ori has the range advantage.
Mm-hmm.
She should have prio most of the time.
Yeah, so Ori will have prio, but generally it's still generally just a laning, a farming lane. There shouldn't be much kill pressure. Pingu with a really good spot out on base this early, catching him out on the Raptors.
He's gonna get collapsed on. If Apog could have gotten that cage down, maybe, but
potentially, yeah.
It hit 3 right as he was coming over. It's true.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and Lemur just hitting 2 there. He was level 1 when the Ashe hit him with volley.
Garvin's getting pretty low.
Pingu actually stole a little raptor, which got caused base to miss his level 3. It's interesting.
Oh, that's
nice.
really good then. Honestly, he did get it on the next camp. But...
Yeah, I actually didn't know that you lost XP for the small ones. I thought it was all stored in the big ones.
Oh, we got
here we go. Base is going for a gauge. Gauge goes down. Flash comes out from Pingu, and it's flash burned.
And Riot directed camera has me in bot lane.
Looks like we have Mord roaming down for the scuttle. We may see a little skirmish between Viego. No?
Yeah. Pingu no flash.
So flash engage from Sirach gets flashed by the Varus, so nothing comes about that in bot lane, and it's back to being pushed in for this Aphelios and Tahm Kench.
Yeah, you take the flash on your jungler for the flash on the ADC though every time.
Yeah, for sure. Because that means
that may
Sirach...
alleviate a little bit of pressure in the bot lane as well with Tahm Kench having more real